Hi. Well, here's a nice photo of Tewkesbury in the sunshine. Things have moved on a bit since this photo was taken. This place has been renovated and has become sort of, as far as I can tell, a sort of ice cream parlour. And the mill here, this used to be the largest flour mill in the world. Until quite recently, 20, 30 years, something like that. But it's now derelict. There's a huge, great hole in the roof there. There's a million pigeons living there, and it is rapidly keeling over. And really, it should be pulled down. And there's a load behind here. There's a load of sort of industrial style tin, buildings for housing machinery and what have you, silos. Right, so what we're going to do is turn this into a thunderstorm, change the atmosphere completely. And I'm going to do half of this on the desktop version of Affinity, which I've got here. Then I'm going to transfer it over to the iPad version, which is going to allow me to add stuff like rain and fog, and which I can paint on directly with a pen on my iPad. iPad Air 4. So, what to do? Well, first thing to do is select the sky, which is going to be easier than selecting all this stuff. So we're going to take the selection brush and start painting over the sky, and right away it's picked up all the sky, apart from a few bits over here. So we're going to hit refine. And here we have, this is actually an imitation of rubylith, which is the old darkroom technique for masking photos, very popular in Russia. Okay, and we're going to ask Affinity to take a closer look at the selection by painting over the bits we think should be selected. So I'm going to paint over this vegetation here, and it's selected OK. Paint over this vegetation here, selected it OK. It's missed this, it's got stuff growing out the roof on this now, it's gone, Now it hasn't selected this roof here, but because I quite like the sort of derelict effect, and frankly it's not going to be long before that roof disappears anyway, I think I'm going to leave that. So that looks good to me. Oh, hello. Right, I'm just going to decrease the brush size and select that strut there. Yeah, it's fine. Fine, okay, so we'll close the refine selection box. That's worked fine. And now we're going to invert the selection, which is Command Shift and I on the Mac. But we'll do it up here. Okay, so we've now got in effect there's rubylith over the sky now. So what I'm going to do is apply a mask down here. The sky goes. And I'm going to drag in a photo of a dark sky and lightning here. I reduce the size of the picture, change tools, and drag this out using the marching ants, which outline the sky. We're going to have to distort it a bit to get a good bit of the lightning in. Yeah, I think that looks good. Okay, and then we're going to drag the layer with the lightning in it below the layer with the original photo on it and the mask. And then we'll just zoom in a bit more. Yeah, I think that looks good. Right, what else do we have to do? Nothing much. Right, I'm going to select a background layer here and apply a curves adjustment to darken it up. Because it's a thunderstorm. And there, can you see right now, the top right here controls the highlights and the bottom left controls the shadows. So you want to darken the whole thing really. So I'm on the master channel and I'm going to drag the whole thing down until we get that. And it looks like there's a flash in the sky and it's picked up these surfaces. It's night obviously, and the white boat, and we've got light reflecting off that. And I think that's all I want to do in the desktop version. So what I'm going to do is go File, Save As, and I think I'll go to iCloud and save the photo as as an Affinity Photo file on my iCloud drive and open it up in the iPad version. So we'll just save. Got to close out the curves box. Yeah, I think I'm happy with that. Deselect. Yeah, I'm happy with that. We can make further adjustments in the iPad version. So I'll see you when I've opened it in the iPad version. Hi, right, I now have the file we just created on the desktop open in the iPad version of Affinity Photo. And what we're going to do here on the iPad, because I can use a pen to do this, is create a bit of atmosphere. We're going to add a bit of rain and a bit of a sort of watercolour washes over it to give it that steamy, wet atmosphere. So we're going to select paintbrush over here. We're going to go to the Paintbrush Studio. And I've got these galactic brushes here, which in fact do stars, but actually quite look like rain, and we're going to smudge it anyway. So although it might look a bit funny to begin with, we're going to smudge it all so it sort of knocks it back. So what I'm going to do is decrease to a smaller size to get raindrops that are further away, and I'm going to put those over the sky here. These are meant to represent stars, and they do actually represent stars. And I'm going to increase the width of the brush to give us some rain that's a bit closer, and then I'm going to increase the size of the brush again to give us even bigger drops that are a bit closer. And now that's quite dramatic. It's a bit unrealistic. Well, the whole thing's unrealistic, but what we're going to do is smudge it. So I'm going to go and get a blend brush and dusty hard, let's go soft, and we're going to blend that rain into the background here. Yeah, I like that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to create a new layer, another new pixel layer for some sort of watercolor like washes. So let's go back onto my here we got the watercolor brushes, and let's have a light wash, and let's have a sort of yellowish colour, and let's decrease that a bit. Flow 20%, strength, we're gonna decrease that a bit to about 33. And we're going to paint this sort of faint yellow wash over it. And what we're doing is adding atmosphere, really. And on top of that, I think we'll add a bit of a blue wash. Bit more blue. Increase the strength a little. Increase the flow a little. And let's add a blue wash. And you can build up your effects any way you want. We're gonna. I'm not happy with that rain, so I think we're gonna go back into get another rain brush or star brush really, and flow 100%. Don't like that. We're going to change that right down. Strength 41, width. Let's add a bit more rain here. Helps if you've got the brush selected, of course. Okay, and again I'm going to smudge that. We'll go with soft again. Flow 60%, strength 41%. Going to increase the size of this brush a bit. And again, knock it back. I think I've done that a bit too much. Yeah, I've done that a bit too much. I'm going to undo that. And we're going to knock the strength right down. And knock the flow down a bit. I'll do quite a lot of work in this top left here. Yeah, I think that looks good. Now, let's have a look at what we started with and what, for the purposes of this, we're going to finish with for this video, because it can't go on forever. And, you know, obviously you can play with this forever. So we're going to knock out all these. Knock out that mask. That's what we started with. And that's what we've ended up with. Amazing, eh? So there you go. I just absolutely love Affinity Photo for iPad. It is just wonderful. It's put the fun back in everything for me. So there you go. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you gave you some idea of sort of what you can accomplish with this program, even if you're, you know, just starting out. It's really a question, if you know the basics of how these programs work. In a program like Affinity Photo for the iPad, it's just knowing where to go to get the effects that you want. And which tools to use, and I forgot that for some reason it keeps on reverting to this this finger pointing tool when I've selected the paintbrush. There's a blur brush there which would probably come in quite handy. Sponge, dodge. You see, you could use all these as alternatives to what I did. Yeah, but that's it. I mean, that's one example of how you can do it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks very much indeed for watching, and I'll see you next time.